I'm more proud of myself now than I was before. I wasn't proud of myself years ago. Growing up, I was not proud of myself. The way I am now, I'm a different person. My name is Charles Graham. I've had several doctors over the years. The doctors told me that the way my heart is, I would never live through open heart surgery. My childhood was not too pleasant. There was a lot of abuse in my family, unfortunately with my mother. We had no father around. And that anger, it built up inside me. And it made me an angry man. And as I was growing up, I was angrier all the time. And I held grudges. I got in fights with people over small stuff, just because of my anger inside me. And I didn't want to be that way, but I think a lot of things that happened when I was growing up caused me to be that way. My mother didn't show up at my son's wedding, and she told me, oh, I won't miss it for the world. She knows that she missed my wedding 58 years ago. That's why she said that. I won't miss it for the world. And sure enough, she missed my son's wedding. And then my sister took her side, and I was very angry with her. And I told her I don't want to talk to her anymore. I said, forget it. Don't bother ever calling me, or I'm not going to call you. And that's the way I left it.
His sister would send us cards, but he didn't want to see them, or little notes in them. I'd read them, and he didn't even want me to read them to him. Well, we first met in high school. I was in the 10th grade, and he was a senior in the 12th. I was eating my lunch in the cafeteria, and this guy came over, and he said, that guy over there, which was Charles, he wants to ask you out. And I said, well, I'm not going out with him unless he comes over and asks me himself. So he did. He went over and got him, and then he came in and got the courage to ask me out.
Don't look like a good heart.
That's a good
It
heart.
probably looks like your heart, Charles. As his heart got weaker and weaker, so did he physically. We were at my son's house for Father's Day. Charles had to go to the bathroom. My granddaughter and I were in another room, talking. And all of a sudden we heard a big bang. And I hollered, Charles, what happened? He hollered, I fell. He hit his head and he couldn't get up. So my little granddaughter ran in there and she says, Pa, what's wrong? And he said, I passed out and I fell. So she ran upstairs screaming and crying and laying on her bed. So I went up to her and I said, Hannah, what's the matter? She says, Ma, I don't want Pa to die. Please, don't let Pa die. She said, call Mommy and Daddy and tell them to come home quick.
I want to be around for her. I want to be around for my little granddaughter and my wife and my family. But mostly for little Hannah. She's got a soft spot in my heart. Oh my God, she'll never eat all that.
Well,
You think so?
she doesn't.
Wow, that's a lot. Now be careful, and it's still smoky. Still a little hot here.
Yeah, it's a little messy. It falls apart a lot of
Be
times.
careful, you
if
put
don't
big-
let it sit long enough.
Is it okay to eat?
Take the stuff.
Okay.
It's still a little hot.
Well, don't take such a big bite. Take a smaller bite.
As his heart got worse and worse, his cardiologist is Dr. Q, and she's the one that recommended that he should go to Utah and have the LVAD.
My son drove on the 28th of June. He wanted to get me to the hospital. He knows that I wasn't doing well, and he didn't think I was going to make it. So they admitted me into the hospital on the 30th of June. That's when Dr. Shaw came to my room and said to me, Mr. Graham, I'm sorry, but your heart's so bad, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. And I said, oh my, you mean to tell me I came all the way out here for nothing? You're going to let me die? She said, I'll go back and talk to Dr. Salzman and see what he says, but I don't think we're going to do it. She come back 15 minutes later and said, guess what, Mr. Graham? Dr. Salzman says we're going to go through it. He's going to help you. And I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. And then when I got into that operating room and they put me on the table on July 8th of 2020, and they wheeled me into the operating room, and here I was looking at these, it must have been 8 to 10 people standing up in a row side by side with them green outfits, gray outfits, nurses, PAs, doctors. I'm telling you, I said to myself, I'm not worried about dying here. They're not going to let me die. But when I got done the operation, it was really funny. Dr. Salzman stood right by my side and said, "Guess what, Mr. Graham? You just lived through open heart surgery."
Well, at first I was a little scared because I seen the wire come out of his stomach and that equipment hanging off of him. And then he looked different because he lost a lot of weight. It was about 5 or 6 days I had to go to class. And once I got the bandage down that I could do it, then they said he could be released and go. Because if I didn't know how to do it, they weren't going to let him leave. So he pressured me on that too. He called me up and said, "Make sure you remember every step about that bandage because they're going to be watching you." So, but I learned it.
You're right there like that. Is that what you wanted? Too far back. Perfect. Hi, Carolyn, it's Buddy.
Yeah, until I heard from you, Bud, August of 2020, when I heard that voice on that phone, I was alone. Tim brought me back from the ocean, my family, and they came in for a while, but I didn't notice I had any messages. So after they left, I sat down and had a glass of water, and I saw my phone message flash, so I answered it. And oh my, when it was your voice there, I just went to pieces. I called Tim crying, sobbing, just so upset. I said, my brother called me, and I used to tell everybody, I don't care if he would call me tomorrow, I would welcome him with open arms. I just prayed for you because I was so afraid that you were going to go and pass away, and then we wouldn't have been able to speak or anything, and it was just too much to bear for me.
Carolyn, when I called you that day and we talked the first time, did I tell you I was sorry?
You did, Bud, you did.
Did I tell you how foolish I was from what I did all them years?
You did, but I told you didn't have to apologize.
I know, but I did.
Yes.
And I told you, if you remember, I told you, I said, I got a second chance at life, and I'm not going to ruin it.
No, you didn't.
And I didn't. I did it. I made it right. I talked to you and I talked to John Bezzoro,
Yes,
my
you
friend.
did. Yes, and I think that's why God is letting you feel the way you are, because this is how you were supposed to feel all your life.
Right.
You know, when you got anger in your body and you hold grudges, it sort of weighs you down, you know what I'm saying? So he feels better about it. He's happy that he could reach out to his sister now and talk to her.
Big smile.
Yeah, right.
All right, you're good. You're good.
Can't see their smile. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Doctor, thank you for
You
everything.
have great stamina
Yeah.
today.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, and like I say,
a few
I wouldn't
months
be-
ago,
Oh,
you
no,
will be,
no,
you
no.
will be like grumpy and you
Yeah,
want to leave.
no, I'm not no more. I'm a different person. I'm a different human being. I'm telling you, I really am.
Well, today I'm going to call your ejection fraction 55%.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it.